Welcome to Artistic Adventures. This is it, guys. This is part 8, the final video in our Snow White doll series. Let's get started. So here is where we left our doll the last time you saw her. She has her wig, she has her face up. The dress has been finished. She's got her cute little shoes that match her dress. So now it's time to fix her hair and give her that Snow White hairdo. All right. Before we do that, though, I wonder if you guys realized something that I missed on the dress. Anybody? Yeah, I did miss something, and after I realized that, I figured out that it was actually a good thing because I need to fix her hair before I do that. But the part that I missed was that iconic white collar. Sorry about my video. My tripod stand is being jerky today. So we made this in the very beginning, and what we're going to do is slip this around her neck and put the pipe cleaners down into the bodice of her dress to hold it on. But we're not going to do that until after we fix her hair. It'll really be kind of the last thing we do because it'll just get in the way of us curling and doing what we need to do to her hair. But when we do it, like I said, we're just going to put those pipe cleaners down inside the bodice and that should hold it up and work great. So we have this beautiful hair to work with, this black alpaca fiber, and I got her a pretty red satin ribbon to put in her hair, which is also one of her looks. I am going to put some eyelashes on her. I was originally going to use those individual ones, but as you'll see at the end, I decided that the full ones would look better. So the first thing we're going to do is cut her hair. I know. Is anybody else cringing? I am. Because this beautiful fiber is just magnificent. And I hate to cut the length, but she doesn't need this much length for her hairdo. So we're going to cut it. And as I tell you guys always, cut it longer than you think you're going to need because when you get to the point that you need it to be shorter, you can always trim it, but you can't make it longer after you cut it. And I thought I was cutting this way too long. After I finished, it was actually just perfect. So see what I mean? And you want to comb it out really nice because after we curl it, we're not going to be combing or messing with it too much. And what I'm going to basically do is curl the top half. Oh, first of all, I'm going to put this gel in her hair. I wanted to tell you that alpaca fiber, it curls really well, but it doesn't stay in. So I decided to try this. I've never tried this before. I've used hairspray, which will work, but I thought I might try the gel and see how that works. As you'll see as we go through this video and get near the end, the gel was kind of okay. It wasn't really that great. And I think it's more because I didn't really put enough in her hair or get it all the way through it. But what I'm going to do is sort of separate half of the hair halfway down her scalp and curl that part up. And then the underneath part, I'm going to curl under. And I'm going to do this all the way around. Now, my reason for doing this is her hair is sort of poofy on top, and then it sort of comes down inward at her chin and then curls up again and gets a little bit thicker. So I thought doing it this way will give us a couple different direction of curls. Now, if you notice when I'm doing this, I'm using my little 1/4 inch curling iron and I'm letting it stay on there. It doesn't look like very long with the film speeded up, but actually I'm letting it stay on there a pretty good while. I want that to really get curled because as I said, this alpaca fiber, it will initially curl, but I really want to get a strong curl in it. And then I'm just sort of loosening it a little bit and then letting the barrel slide off. And then I'm letting those curls stay as they are because they'll get even firmer as they cool and they'll stay in place even better if you let them cool before you try to mess with them. Now I noticed something here. Did anybody notice that? Yeah, I curled that under. I meant to curl it up. And I'm, thought about it for a while and then I was like, you know what? I got to go back and fix it. It's just not going to look right. So I comb it out and I curl it up. And then this begins the drama of this curl cursing me for the rest of the video. Apparently, the gel on this one really worked and it wanted to stay in the curled under position. You'll notice as we go through this that it just keeps coming out. But the other ones tended to stay in pretty well. I did go back to a few of them that I didn't get enough of the gel on and put some hairspray on at one point and recurl them. And you can always do that. You can always go back and touch up or put, more curls in an area where you think it's not curly enough. But basically what I'm doing all the way around is doing that top layer curled up and the bottom layer curled down. And you look over to the right, you see that curl? It's already starting to uncurl. Yeah, that really cursed me throughout the rest of this hairdo. So here I am curling it up again. Yeah, yeah, it's just not cooperating with me. All right, so we continue getting the last few curls here done. And once we do this part, we can put the ribbon in her hair, and then we can do a little bit more styling. But I'm not really going to do much more with the curls because I really want them to stay nice and tight. Yeah, there it is again. See? That is one bad curl. So here I am combing it out again and re-curling it. So lesson learned, curl them right the first time. This has just been such a hateful curl. All right. So anyway, we got that thing curled down again, and I'm thinking that it stayed that time. I can't remember. I did it so many times. All right. Now her hair sort of loops down on either side of her face, and then it has like a center part. So we're going to put the ribbon underneath and pull it up, and then we may have to pull some of that hair out to make it look like it does in the pictures of her. So basically, I'm just pulling it up, leaving a little bit on either side hanging down, and making sure that I get it nice and combed so that the hair lays flat underneath where I'm putting the ribbon. Had to mess with that just a little bit. And then I tied a knot in it and then tied the bow. And then once I've finished that part, guess what's going to happen next? Yeah, the curl. The dreaded, cursed curl. All right, yeah, I had to curl that again another time. But after that, um, then I cut off the long ends of that red ribbon so that it uh, is short enough for the look of Snow White. If you look at some of her pictures, it doesn't even look like you see the tails of the ribbon. But I decided to leave them on. I kind of like it, and I'm gonna probably sell this doll, so somebody might want to take the ribbon off. I don't know. So anyway, I'm doing some final finishing touches and curling some curls that didn't have a lot of the gel on them and doing some final fixing up here and there and put some hairspray on to hold the curls in, and there's our girl. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I may have to do a few more touches to this, but overall I'm really, really happy with how the hair turned out and the face, really everything to dress. So now is the next worst part of what I hate about making dolls is putting on eyelashes. I don't know why. I'm not good at it. And I'm not good at putting them on myself. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know why. I just get to the point where I'm trying to do this little fine detail and it just seems like everything always goes wrong. Anyway, I'm just using some tacky glue, which was bead sort of like an Elmer's type glue, and I let it dry just a little bit and then placed the eyelash in it. I had to cut, these are just normal human eyelashes, fake lashes, and I just cut them off some so they would fit the eye shape of this doll. Sometimes you have to hold them just a little bit till it starts to dry, but this stuff dries pretty fast, that tacky glue. That's pretty nice. And it dries clear, so you don't really see that white once it's dried, which is good. And once I got them on, I really liked the way they looked. I think they added a lot to her face, but I don't like doing it. I don't know about you guys. Do you like doing that? So here's the final doll with everything done, the dress and the hair and everything. I'm going to do some still shots here at the end to give you a more detailed look at everything because like, I don't really think it looks as good on the video. But that final step before we do that is to put this collar in. And I started putting it in, then I realized I needed to trim some off of the ends of those pipe cleaners. They just were too long. And basically just stuck those down into the front of the bodice and tucked the back of the collar under the bodice so it doesn't show, the ends don't show. And it turned out pretty nice. I'm sure there's other ways you could do it, but if you wanted to be able to take that bodice off, you're not going to be able to attach the collar. And here's another full-length view. This is a still picture where I think you can get a better look at her. And there's a view from the back. One of the things I wish these dolls had was a hidden stand that goes up under the dress so you could pose them without that thing on the back. And here's her holding up her dress so you can see her pretty shoes. And there's a close-up of the shoes. If you haven't seen the other videos, this is a whole series where I show you how to make all the pieces of this costume. And this is a little more close-up look of her face and the bodice with the golden trim and the sleeves with the ribbons. And here's one with just the top part of the skirt showing. I really am so happy with how her hair, face, and everything turned out. I think she's a really beautiful Snow White. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It was long, but we got it done. There was just a lot of intricate parts to it. And I wanted to let you know that I will be probably selling this doll on my Etsy shop. I'll get her up in the next couple days or so if anybody's interested in her. So, what's coming up next? A project that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's really appropriate because Christmas is coming up. I want to use one of my smaller Monster High dolls and make a Christmas angel for the top of a tree. So that'll be the next series that's coming up. So please subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thanks and goodbye.